Hey guys, as you may be able to tell, I'm not in my usual spot. I'm actually in a hotel. I just needed some space. The breakup's been really tough. Cohabitation has just not been working out. And my new partner's actually moving in with me June 5th. So I'm finding myself reminiscing on some of the music that we listened to, our soundtrack, if you will. And I'm just going to let you tag along on that journey as I reflect on Nintendo Switch game soundtracks that hit me the hardest. See, it's not about anything real. It's just baby Nintendo Mario crap. I'm going to die alone.
This list isn't all Switch exclusives, just games I happen to play on the Switch. I wasn't one of those guys with hundreds of Switch games, but the ones I played besides 1-2 Switch were special to me. And this list isn't necessarily my top 5 Switch games ever, but the ones that were most special because of musical moments. And it's not like the best Switch soundtracks, because that's the most subjective phrase I've ever heard, and I've played lots of games that released on Switch on other consoles. It's just about me and my little ears and my little feelings. I have a pretty dumb story for this first entry. When I was a kid, I had Pokemon Diamond for the DS and an action replay which let you input cheats. I played it without cheats initially, but after beating the main story, I had that action replay in so often you could call me Tiger Woods. He cheated on his wife a lot. One day I was futzing around with some codes and I walked into one of the first patches of grass in the game and I heard this. I don't remember many moments from 2006 vividly, but that music scared the Diglett out of me. Ever since, that music stuck with me, so for that to be the final boss theme for this game, I had to face my fears. About 15 years later, I'm proud to say I only cried once. My actual favorite track in this game is the Jubilee Village music. In 2022, I became kind of regimented, and this game kind of reflected that. You go out and do your missions, but you have a home to return to. And the hypnotic opening that plays over and over again just brought both calm and accomplishment. Sonic Frontiers has something for everyone. This soundtrack is almost 7 hours long and it's got that atmospheric Breath of the Wild stuff, drum and bass, and what hit me the most, the metal. As a singer, I'm always drawn to vocal themes in games, and the vocal themes, bro, they brought my bro Kellen Quinn in, bro. You have 500 supersonic fights in this game and every one of them has different music. They all make me want to go get in a bar fight but also cry. Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece, yes, and if this list were my top 6, Breath of the Wild would be here. But I just found myself resonating with Tears of the Kingdom so much more in almost every way. This game came out when I was kind of re-entering the classical music world. I love classical music, I never hated it or anything, but after studying music in school for years where it's often put as this gold standard that must be followed, it just made me want to explore outside of it for a while. But this soundtrack has everything. It's got shades of futurism with the reversed voices, it's got callbacks to older games, it's got folk instruments, saxophone, ambient music, grand, western-esque orchestral epics. And it all comes together in some tracks like the main theme or the music that plays during the Ganondorf battles. It was just validation that all music can hit if assembled the right way, and different genres can all come together. I just enjoyed how this had much more variety than Breath of the Wild soundtrack, and it came at just the right time for me. My number 2 is kinda cheating since it's a remake, but it's Super Mario RPG. I try not to live in nostalgia too much, because I find I keep myself from living in the moment. Getting older is a huge fear of mine, but I know sitting with those feelings is how to come to peace with it. However, this is one of my most nostalgic games of all time. I played the heck out of the original with my brother and cousin, hours and hours and hours, so this music hits on a different level. And the new arrangements here are amazing. I'm so glad they brought Yoko Shimomura back to do them. In an IGN piece, she said she heard real flutes and violins in her music while writing in the olden days, but system constraints prevented their implementation. So when that violin kicks in during the iconic forest theme, like we're hearing what she heard in her head all those years ago, that's something else. And another track that really hit hard was Geno Awakens. The contrast between the epic, out-of-this-world stuff and the twinkly children's toy sound is greater than ever before. Those two ideas also come together in the Star Hill theme. Now that background stuff that supports the melody is so pronounced, so out of this world, and that makes me feel the present, but the familiar melody makes me feel the past, and reminds me I can still have dreams and aspirations, not just as a little kid playing his Super Nintendo, but as a 30-something playing his Switch too. Wow, that got deep, and we're about to get deeper. Friggin' Celeste, man, what can I even say? Well, actually, I'll start with something I said for Mario RPG. Sitting with feelings is important. If you ignore them, they grow, and if you give in to them, they consume you. The story of Celeste teaches this, and the music reflects that in such clear and intricate ways. In a piece on Eurogamer, Lena Raine once said that she is a big fan of musical metaphor, going on to say that in Celeste, after adding piano into the synth-heavy First Steps track, the piano came to represent Madeline's internal journey, and the synths represented the external world. You can hear this in tracks like Anxiety, which plays during the feather-blowing minigame of the gondola scene. During a panic attack, the synths take over and drown the piano out, then the piano comes back in as she calms. Such metaphor continues into another version of this minigame, in which Madeline, Madeline's inner alter ego of sorts, keeps her in the panic attack. And musical metaphor goes into the motifs used in this game too. My favorite is this motif that seems to represent Madeline and her courage. It's later used in minor to represent Madeline, hinting to the player that Madeline is not separate from Madeline. There's so much more to it all, and there are a bunch of YouTube videos on Celeste's music, including an ancient one by me about the official piano book, so check them out. For now, just know this music gave sound to feelings that I hope I can touch upon half as well in my own music.
I apologize for the intro to the video. I was feeling a little silly, but I do think my odds of finding my future wife are pretty good this summer. I'm exercising a lot, I'm pumping out some new music, finishing up my doctorate, and as compensation for my terrible personality, I'll be the guy around town that has Mario Kart World. Want to see this stupid looking Donkey Kong? My coffin apartment's the only place you'll find him for a while.